slowness and the simplicity of it, you know, it can be very triggering for people, you know. Over the years, I've seen so many people just be like, I remember one time I was teaching a retreat, and this guy came, and it was like a yoga for detox retreat, you know. So I was doing all these like slow practices and massaging your digestive organs and stuff, and this guy came to the retreat. He was like right there, and he was wearing shorts and nothing else. That's what he was wearing, and he was like red, and he left after the morning session. He was like, I want to go do real yoga. But it was so interesting to me, like, I'm not going to take that personally, you know. But it was interesting to me to see, like, that really triggered it. That made him angry, you know. It triggers people when you ask them to go slow sometimes, because it's against, you know, the flow that they're used to. And also so many people have set themselves up with barriers against their feelings. And exercise is a great barrier against your feeling. In that ebook that I wrote, I tell a story of a guy who worked out twice a day. He was like a Navy SEAL or something? He was a former Navy SEAL, and like to get this guy to go slow he was just like, I refuse, because everything he had created to keep him surviving, that was what he had set up to survive against the PTSD stuff, you know. And how many of you teachers know those people that always get up and leave before Shavasana? I mean, right? There's lots of them, you know. And we kind of joke about it, but to think deeply about what how they're suffering, to really empathize with their suffering, means that we have to start in a different place with them. You know, I know it's hard. I know how to kick somebody's asana. You know, I know how to do that. And if I see that the nervous system needs that, I'm happy to go there with that person. You know, I'm happy to take them there, especially in a one-on-one thing. If you're working one-on-one with somebody, you have much more capacity to you know, move to what their nervous system needs. Whereas when I'm teaching group classes, I think about it, I conceptualize it more in the out of the sphere of treatment and more in the realm of the wellness. And that requires a certain level of self-regulation, a certain level of self-empowerment, a certain level of wellness and health to begin with before you even start there. So like traumatized populations, people with addictions, depression, not depression so much, anxiety, like those people with diagnosable, I don't necessarily want to think they just go into my class, because they're going to experience the interoception, often get triggered from it, and not be able to get the value out of it, and then they might form a judgment around it and think that that's just, you know, that kind of boring yoga that doesn't do anything for me, when it's really just where they are in their personal development work and their healing work that dictates that maybe they shouldn't be doing this work yet, you know. So it takes a certain level of sort of self-awareness to be able to jump into this work, and it's not the only thing I teach. You know, it's not. You have to have some versatility as a therapist too, to be able to meet somebody where they are and provide them with the interventions that they need at that level. You know, so I hope that's useful too. So it's not just about like, this is the only way to do it. I would never say that. It's just a way that is helpful for certain purposes, and we'll get into that more this morning when we talk about asanas and pranayama and the neurobiology. Okay.